Hello my quilting family. We're back with another pineapple block, and today I'm going to show you how to make the one that starts with a triangle, 60-degree triangle in the middle. There's two really important things you need to know how to do, is how to cut this 60-degree triangle and then how to cut that first couple of rows around it. So we're going to head over to the cutting table here right away, so I'll meet you there. Okay, we're here at our cutting board. Now, we're going to make 60-degree triangles. Now, if you do have the Sew Easy templates, right? I mean, they're really, really handy to have. But if you don't, I'm going to show you how to do it with your ruler, because most of the rulers have a 60-degree mark on. So what we're going to do is, I have ironed this, and I've got the fold here on this side. So what I'm going to do, we're going to make 3 triangles. So there's our waist. Now, what we're going to do, at this point, we're going to decide how big our 60-degree triangles are going to be. Now I'm making 3 blocks using 2.5-inch strips, 2-inch strips, and 1.5-inch strips. So do I want my strips big or not? No, so I'm going to cut my first strip here at 3.5. I'm just going to put this aside for another project. So now I'm going to find my 60-degree line right here on my ruler and line it up from along my edge, just like this, and trim off this bit. And now I'm going to flip it around. I'm going to line up my 60-degree ruler with where I just cut, or I'm going to do it this way. Actually, this would probably make more sense. Now I just want to get a very sharp point on that. So I'm cutting 2 at a time because I'm on the fold. Right, so I've got 2. Now traditionally, pineapple blocks and log cabin blocks are made with red hearths, like red centers, but you could do whatever you want to do. Let's see, how is this going to work? My 60-degree, why am I confused all of a sudden? Oh no! There's our 60-degree line. We're going to move it along until we get that point, and there we go. And now I have 4 of them. I don't need 4, but I'll find something for this. Don't worry. So now we start picking our strips and going back to the sewing machine. So what we're going to do now is add our 1.5, 2-inch, and 2.5-inch strips onto our 60-degree triangles. Now this is a batik, so you can kind of see sometimes a clearer edge on one side of the batik over the other, but this one, it appears that the ink and dye has been pressed through right away. So you want to make just like a 1/4 inch or more, a bit bigger than what you need. And you want to try and center that triangle in the middle, right? So this is really easy piecing. And I'll do a gray here. Get over just a bit. And basically you're rough cutting everything to kind of help you figure all this out. So it's not a very precise block when you start, because it's all about the cutting and the trimming. So let's get this bright blue. Oh, okay. Here. Now you see how they're all hanging off about, 1/4 inch on either side? That's okay. Because when you're pressing this is going to go out this way. And you can just finger press these. You can just finger press these for now. Like, just take your fingernail and run it across. And I'm going to do another one, and I don't want to go past, too much past my 1/4 inch that I need. So I'm just going to sew this like that. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish sewing these all the way around, pressing them out away from the center triangle, and I'll meet you back at the cutting board. Okay, we're back from sewing all 3 sides onto our pineapple triangle. Now, one of the things that's very important about this is that on your 60-degree triangle, one side is straight of grain, the other 2 are unbiased. So don't stretch your triangle. Don't get it out of shape or whatever. That, you know, and that's very careful. Now, we're going to flip them over. I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to start with this one to trim it. You see, we have a V, like an X that crosses through here, right? Now I know if this was a lighter fabric, you'd be able to see it. So we want to make sure that we're leaving that 1/4 inch, right? So we're not going to trim anything past that 1/4 inch, right? So now we're going to try and get as close as we can on the 60-degree line to do our first cut. And we're just going to keep moving around the block, lining up our 60-degree, making sure we have a good 1/4 inch. And there we go. And the last one. And put your 60-degree line right on the stitching line, and then get that 1/4 inch there. And we're there. Now when you're taking these back to the sewing machine, what you want to do is make sure that you are sewing from this side. The wrong side is up on these, because you want to make sure that when you're sewing that you catch that tip of that corner. And I'll show you that here in a bit. Here, hang on. Let me just finish squaring there, trimming these, and we'll see where we're at. And intersect. Oops, there we go. There. Okay, here we go. 60 degrees. And my 1/4 inches there. Line up your 60-degree first, get your 1/4 inch, and 60 degrees, your 1/4 inch. Oops, now let's make sure we got that. Yep, right there. So now we sew on the white, and I'll meet you back at the sewing table, or the sewing machine. Okay, we're back at the sewing machine, and now we're going to take the 2.5 inch and sew a 2.5 inch neutral on there. So we're going to lay our neutral out first, and I want to put it so that I've got like a 1/4 inch on either side, and just give it a rough trim. You know, you don't have to get, you know, too technical with it or anything. So now I need to make this point. This is where this intersection and this intersection cross. So here is that little point that's so important. So if I have to do a little steering to, you know, to make that point, that's okay. But I certainly don't want to cut it off. Once you get past the second row, you don't have to worry about those points anymore. Then it just becomes fun to do. And I have just hit my point perfectly. So now we're going to roll the 2 inch through. And I've got some cute little scissors. Yes, this is big enough. And again, I'm looking for that point, so I'm going to sew them like this. Yeah. And now I added another 1.5 inch strip here, just because I had that extra block. I'm just going to put this in here. Oh no, let's try this. Let's try some writing. Let's try some writing. Oh, okay. So there it is. And you want to make that point, or just be on this side of it. You know, like, you know, if you're gonna make your point perfect, that's great. But if you don't want to cut it off, but if you're on this side of the point, it's also okay. And yeah, oops, there we go. We don't want to sew them backwards. Now usually the rule too is bias is on the bottom, but in this case the point is more important because this whole side here is bias. Okay, so I'll keep sewing and I'll meet you back at the trimming table or the cutting table. Okay, so now we've gotten them all, and you notice I've added another one. These blocks are going to go for a charity anyway, so might as well make it now and have fun with it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to line up my ruler with a sewn edge, and this you do for every block after that. When you're working on the 1.5, you're going to put that 1 inch line right on where you've stitched that one onto the triangle. So now you're going to make little cuts like this, and you're going to go all the way around, lining it up on the sew line, and then just trimming it off. That's what makes these blocks, and you do this every round now. So as we're going out, this is what the same, we're going to repeat and repeat and repeat. So when you do a 2-inch block, when you do the 2-inch block, you put the sew line, you put this ruler on 1.5 inch. I'm just going to move it up there so I have a little more ruler. This is a great way to use up scraps. This is, and you don't have to get real fussy with it either, except for your trimming every round. So 1.5. And then with this, we're going to go 2 inches. So we're going to put that sewn line on the 2 inch. So let me move it up a bit. And we're going to trim away and trim again. And you keep alternating your rounds between either a neutral and color, or you can go all color, or you can go, you know, color and black, or whatever combinations you really like. Whatever combinations you want to move throughout with your scraps. I mean, essentially, it's a great scrap buster. You know, there's people too that make dog beds out of the bits that they trim off. So I mean, that's always kind of interesting, and you're not throwing it out. So anyways, I'll meet you back here when these are 12.5 inches, and then we'll show you how to square them up when they're this size. Okay, we'll see you back here in a while. I have a lot of sewing to do. Okay, we're back and we finished all the sewing and all the rounds. If I wasn't making these into a 12.5 inch unfinished square block, I could have at any point added on another 60-degree triangle to, let's say, a color edge or a white edge to complete a very large or a larger 60-degree triangle block, pineapple block. But the guild wants them square, so this is what we're going to do next. We're going to square these up. And I'm just going to show you how to square one up, because they all kind of do the same. Okay, so we're going to do, let's see, 12.5 inches. So we want to keep it kind of straight. And let's see, 2 inches there. Okay, now this right here is your center point. So if you wanted to, you could put that 60-degree triangle right in the center, and I think that's what we're going to do. That's going to work lovely. Okay. And yeah, that works. And these bits get thrown into my string box, and I make string blocks. So now we just give it a quick spin, and there we go. Oops. It's fun traveling down memory lane with these. Anyways, I'll finish squaring up the rest of them and I'll meet you back at the sewing machine. Okay, we're back. We've got them all trimmed up and now they're ready to be donated to a charity. So these are the blocks, and like I say, if it wasn't for the fact we had to have them square, we could have made these like a oversized 60-degree triangle. And these are just, what a good scrap buster this is. So anyways, I do hope you give these a try. Here's the bonus block I made for our charity. So anyways, I do hope you give it a try. We're going to come back and try and do diamonds and hexagons next. So I haven't decided which one we're going to do first. But I hope you come back and I enjoy seeing you. Right? Bye! Have a great day! If you have questions about what you saw in this video, or you have ideas for content or something you want to see us do, please put those comments in the description below. But also, while you're there, like, share, and subscribe with your friends. That would really help us out. Okay, I want to thank you and have a great day.